I'm just pushing the button, missus, since we're short on time, okay?
Yep. Get going.
It's the Thursday show, yay! Pressing the button, roll it, Hal. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Hello, missus.
Hello.
Don't mind me while we sit in the dark for a few. There we go. Bring some lights on. Bring it in here. Hey, welcome back. What?
Hi.
Man, it's exciting. How you doing?
My head feels great with short hair.
Your head feels great. I'm trying to see if we can see that just yet. You don't really know how to deliver a surprise. You just go, bah!
I'm the worst at that part.
There's not much storytelling with you. But, look at that. Mrs. Ryan has short hair. We were going to get to it later. Anyway, welcome back, everybody. Today is Thursday, September 26th. 2019. My name is Jay Ryan. This is Nicole Ryan, and you are checking into the old late night play set right now. Thank you very much for being here. We've got a great guest tonight. We've been trying to have here for a while. Between me having oral surgery and him having green light meetings and all sorts of other things, we've had a few false starts, but he's finally here today, and we want to get him in here as soon as possible. So BRIAN VOLK-WEISS is here, and there's all sorts of things to talk about. He's here for, just like earlier in the week, he's here for all of the reasons that someone would be on a talk show. He's a very accomplished writer, director, producer. He's one of those guys. But he is also from Mrs. Ryan's Past Lives Pavilion over here. Somebody you used to work with and know quite a bit. So I always like these shows because I like watching you guys interact. So I'm hoping that will happen again. In the meantime, Mrs. Ryan, I want to keep on going here. Yesterday we did not do a show. Gabe Abelson was supposed to be here. Gabe Abelson will be here very soon. Gabe Abelson had a writing job pop up last minute, and we encouraged him to take it also.
Good job, Gabe.
Love that. And let's see. Your hair is the other thing. Looks absolutely lovely. Mrs. Ryan chopped her hair the other day.
Thank you.
I just love it. I know you can't really see too much with the dark in here and the headphones, but I just love it. And everyone's going to see you out and about. So the last thing is the podcast. We are a podcast. How's that? We're on Apple. We're on all the things. Go find us.
Yay.
You can listen to this program as well, which is pretty exciting. All right. I have two things, East Coast feed and TBT. Which one would you like first, Mrs. Ryan?
East Coast feed.
All right. I think that's a fine call. Let's check in with Danbury Chive. I don't know where they are, but Brooke and the Casman. Let's see where they are. Roll it out.
Mr. and Mrs. Ryan, it's the East Coast Feed coming to you live from Ridgefield. We're doing Sunday Fun Day. Wait. I'm sure Auto Kramer. You're wearing the Auto Kramer kennel shirt. We're here with Michael and the whole family. But look what we got behind us. Random fire truck stuff, because Michael's a volunteer fireman.
11, by the way.
As you know, in Ridgefield. We'll take a quick tour around to see what's going on right here, because I know you're really curious. They got the whole fire truck action. Say hi. Say hi, everybody. There you go. Nice. And back here, we're going to take a little walk backwards. You can see the orange tent behind me. That's Brooke's Orange Theory Fitness. This is her new gig. This is what she does for a living now. You know, she runs the whole gym in the town of Ridgefield. And they have a whole tent set up. Look, we got Kathy and Alan right here. Boom. Mom and Coraline around here somewhere. But there goes Brooke in the background. Orange Theory Fitnessing it up. That was it. Sending you some love. Please go see. Look, there's the monkey. Say hi to Jay Nicole. There you go. Love you guys.
Oh, bravo.
That little girl's great.
Oh, gosh, that's a pleasure. All right. We love you guys. Mrs. Ryan, it's Thursday, and as we do every Thursday, we open up the old TBT. Let us roll it and see where we are. I think this is starting to get cooler up there at Breakfast Club, so I think this is from about this time last year. Roll it, Hal. Oh, not even close. What do you think of that, Mrs. Ryan?
That was a fun video.
Remember all that stuff?
Now that I've seen the video, thanks for that.
That's why we started doing those videos in the first place. I love it.
Hi to Jeff Swart. I saw him in that, and I love that guy so much.
I know. We've been seeing so much of him lately. It's so nice. I think he went back to Colorado, and then he posted a picture that he was here for the thing. I don't know. He's just always back and forth. Anyway, with that, Mrs. Ryan, it is time to ask the question that's on everyone's mind. Oh, geez, I already zoomed in because of your hair. What's going on, Mrs. Ryan?
The LA Kings, the hockey team we have here, has lent their support to the Sandy Hook initiative.
What?
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Let's hear it.
The Sandy Hook initiative was started in Sandy Hook.
We're talking about Connecticut,
reasons.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This is my
but
hometown.
schools have kind of glommed onto the whole start with hello, encouraging kids to just
making connections.
Getting to know, and
this is important.
The next step is pay attention to what's going on and see what's awareness, and so that's what the Kings are really putting their money behind. But they're part of the initiative, and I used to work with the LA Kings, and I'm super happy for everyone that's part of it, because it's such a good message to spread.
It's a great organization over there. I don't know, is Luke still running it over there?
Yeah.
Luke Robitaille was for a long time, and we knew Heather Bardos over there as well from his office. They had a great management team over there.
It
made me like the team. It made me a fan of the team because of the executive team.
Totally. They're really working hard on the inside to make sure that the message is carried through, and they've always done a great job with it, and I loved working with them. So
I love LA.
Totally. I play, fun fact, we love
it.
We love it. One of the guys that played for LA when I worked with them went to U of M, and I wore his jersey.
Not the guy on the wall there.
Not Sean Avery. Nope. Different guy, but that is how I know the LA Kings. But one of the guys that played for the LA Kings when I represented them was a U of M guy, and I used to see in the locker room at 5 a.m, and I wore his jersey at U of M.
Oh, I see. When you were there at the same time. Oh, that's cute. That's cool. That's cool.
It was fun.
Yeah,
LA Kings. Enjoy. Huey Lewis, isn't he the guy that did the Back to the Future song?
Power of Love and Back in Time from that.
Right.
Well, but also I Want a New Drug and so many other great ones. Huey Lewis and the News.
Yeah. Well, they've got a new single coming out.
Also, a lot of people don't know. Well, they probably do now. But fellas, you're just too darn loud from Back to the Future. That's actually Huey Lewis in the movie.
That's him? Mm-hmm. Oh, I didn't know that.
When they're auditioning for the high school, the dance or whatever.
I think you've told me that when we've watched it, and I just don't remember. But anyway, they have a new single coming out early next year. That they haven't released anything in a decade, literally a decade.
I thought he couldn't perform anymore. I thought there was a whole thing with him and his voice, or he had a
thing, and now his voice is a little bit lower.
Okay.
He didn't talk for a while. His hearing, I think, was really affected more so, and so it affected everything. But he's back, and this single apparently harkens to the 80s love songs and that energy.
When's it out? It's out now?
It's out in 2020, and it's called Her Love Is Killing Me.
Okay.
It just seems like an 80s thing. Did you know, though, that they did the end credit song for Pineapple Express?
I don't remember what the song is, but I wouldn't be surprised.
It's called Pineapple Express. And it's
you mean they a new original music? No, I didn't know that at all.
I didn't either, and that just popped up in something I did. I was like,
funny.
Okay, well, that's 10 years. There is a new.
I always think of that. I don't know how to do it, but there's that one Pineapple Express song from the the trailer and everything else.
I love that song.
I don't know. Whatever. Right, go ahead. We're burning up valuable time here.
I know. Sorry, Brian. I'm so excited to talk to this guy. It's been years. Okay, there's a new Sims-like game that's. They're not pushing it as the point is to sell empathy, because who would buy that game, but that is what their agenda is it's called NeoCap, and it's
I'm all for this stuff. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm all for this. It seems like a lot of the games are going this way. Even Grand Theft Auto, which used to be kind of a shoot 'em up, do the strippers and kill the hookers. It was that kind of game. Even that, you can now, if you want, you can be a taxi driver, or you can be an ambulance driver, or you can be a cop, and you could take calls. You can go be you can exactly. You can kind of do almost anything within the game. So it's really just more of a simulation game than anything else, kind of a role playing.
That's what this sounds like.
But I like that those are possible now, because if you want to just go, I don't know, fart around and live in this world for an hour in some other way, and not just blow shit up with grenade stuff.
practice being a good person.
Yeah, just that the option's out there, and then hopefully all that stuff will be tracking, and then that's how the government, conspiracy theories and Joe Rogan and all that stuff.
It's at least putting positivity out there, and that's what I like about this NeoCab thing. It's really getting into the emotional stories of like the Uber and Lyft drivers and like what that's like, and you get points, and like your emotional scores go up, which is what they're addressing is like common interactions. But like, if you're nice to the person that you pick up, you get higher points.
I love it.
So enjoy. That's out soon. And then lastly, if you're in Ohio, if I were still driving across the Midwest like I used to a lot, I would probably do this. There's a 17 stop coffee tour in Columbus, Ohio.
Oh.
And it's kind of like a trek. They have a donut map also in Cincinnati.
Okay.
So who knows? You can combine the two. But if you
but they're so far away. If you need your coffee and your donuts, you can have them separately.
Yes, that is true. But maybe some people take driving weeks, and it's you get a mug if you finish the coffee when you get a card, and if you turn it in.
Oh, it's a whole thing, almost like a scavenger hunt. Like it's a whole thing.
It seems a little bit, and it's all local coffee places. It's not like go to a Starbucks and get. It's like enjoying the community stuff.
Hey, there we go, and that's been What's Going On, Mrs. Ryan? Jeez, all the buttons. Woo. All right, are we good? Did we do everything we had to do?
Dave, watch.
Oh, geez, you're right. Shit, and it's a big one. It's an important one today. We really need to do it. Okay, so when we left you guys on Tuesday. It's 25. He wasn't here. Today's the 26th, right? All right. Yes. We left you on Tuesday. It was the 24th, and David Letterman was not sitting here, so of course we gave an X. 25th was yesterday, X. 26th, he's going to be next because he's not sitting here. However, we have news, don't we, Mrs. Ryan?
Yes.
It's pretty exciting. I'll just lead it up, and then I'll let you do the news. Basically, we've been filling you in. We're trying to get David Letterman as a guest on this program for obvious reasons. There's a lot to talk about between him and me. We've set this thing up. We got the whole calendar. We've been reaching out. We have one guy from our side who is very, very accomplished in the business of doing this. He's one of the best talent producers there are out there. He is working with Dave's one guy who went to U of M, so that's in our favor as well. That one guy has now, we have confirmed, seen the materials. He has watched Late Show 25, and he responded to our guy with...
That's a really interesting story.
Exclamation point.
In the business, that means way more than it sounds like just saying the words.
And what was the follow-up as you talked to our guy?
The follow-up is there is more follow-up to be had, and now it's been turned over to us to reach out and like really make that next step of like, this is us, let's have a conversation.
So that's what it is. So we've made it through one more buffer, and now we have permission to
interact with
directly
the next guy.
Now the show is going to be... directly, yeah. So anyway, it's a great thing. It's a big
awesome
step closer. Still have no idea what's going to happen. Could be 2 years from now. Could be never. It's not going to be never. It's going to happen. I have a feeling it might be soon.
It's just how the business goes. Like that's why never count your chickens. Yeah. Is a really good thing to hold on to.
Especially when you think somebody has the information all this time, and they're just not interested, and then you find out all this time they never had it.
Yes.
All of a sudden, then the curtains start to pull it back. So anyway, Mrs. Ryan's very exciting news. We're very excited about it here. Now we've done everything, right? Mm-hmm. Please let us take a break. Let us very quickly take a break. Get our guest in here, BRIAN VOLK-WEISS, and we're going to talk about all the things, and you guys are going to catch up. Awesome. Quick break. More to come right after this. All
right.
So it's good for me.
All right.
I know we're good with time, right?
That's right.
Let's bring it back, Mrs. Ryan. You good?
Yes.
This is awesome.
Thanks, man. Well, in that case, we are back sitting here with BRIAN VOLK-WEISS finally.
Hello.
Welcome,
we did
man.
it. Mission accomplished.
Success. We're all here. Thank you for bearing with me. I had some oral surgery, and then you had a good meeting last time, I believe.
Yes.
And is that anything we can talk about? Was that anything that's out
yet?
Not yet.
Okay. When does this air?
Tonight.
Oh, then no.
Definitely
no. It gets announced on the 30th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations either way, because I know it was a good meeting for you. So that's fantastic.
It was, yeah.
Why don't we start with here? How you guys doing? When was the last time you saw each other?
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that, but I have two very distinct memories of you.
Okay, I'm curious to hear this. Okay.
We used to do business meetings after work sometimes at a cigar bar, and I remember that place.
Yes.
Where was it?
Grand Havana, Beverly Hills.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a nice cigar bar, too.
Yeah, we
Still going.
Is it really?
Yeah,
I
and
thought that would be gone by now.
I hadn't been there in about 10 years. I was there about a year ago. I haven't been since. 90% of the people that were there the last time I had been there were literally in the room. Same host, that guy Jay.
They're all the same.
All were there. Peter Weller was in there. He had been in there.
Wow.
And Jordy. Both of them were there the last time I was there, and both of them were there when I was there 10 years later. Yeah.
This is one of those places they have the cigar humidor, the personal humidors that you lock up your shit and everything. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Every time we went, there was someone random that was like at a table near, but like we didn't care. We were just talking work stuff, but like there was always some random old famous.
Are you a
person
cigar
there.
guy, or is that?
I was until February. So for about 20 years, maybe 15 years, I was a cigar guy. And then, about in February, I got an Apple Watch, so that got me starting to be healthy.
Stand up, walk around.
And then through my kid's school, I've become friends with a surgeon. And I said something to him like, hey, cigars aren't bad. It's not like cigarettes, right? And he gave me this look.
Yeah.
And I was like, time to stop smoking cigars. Yeah.
I thought because you don't inhale, but then they say the shit it does to your mouth.
No.
is-
You do inhale.
Oh, okay.
That's what he said. He's like, you might not be inhaling like a cigarette,
But you're still inhaling.
yeah,
the-
It's
smoke
still
is
all
still
around.
All that stuff
yeah,
out. Okay.
yeah. He's like, it's as bad.
And there's way more shit than what is in a cigarette. I mean, the leaf roll.
Well, it's
is
just
way,
more.
That's what
Yeah.
I mean, more.
So yeah, I'm
Well, good for you being
borderline
off
down
of it.
to no vices. Yeah,
You look
Really?
great.
yeah. Well, it's 20 pounds, the Apple Watch, 10 pounds. I got a Parasite in India, and that was another 10 pounds after the 20 pounds.
Is there an app for that? Is that how
No.
Two separate things.
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was
That sounds
Both sides.
awful.
One of the awful both sides kind of things for.
No, just one. That was enough. But it took. I mean, with stuff like that, I mean, it took like 2 months. It took a month for me to be like, something's wrong. Then it took 2 months for like science to figure out what
Did you
was
have
wrong.
to go through all the stuff with the disease control and all that
Oh,
shit we had
yeah.
to do with
You
me?
did to
Where they're
figure
checking
out
for
where it
infectious
was coming
diseases
from.
and all
Oh
that stuff.
yeah. Oh,
That's a little bit scary.
Yeah.
When they send you to there, they're like, well, we just have to check. We don't think it's this, but we just have to check. And then send you to this place, and you're like, what?
Well, I went to 3 doctors. The first 2 both were like, it's this, don't worry. And then I got the call, it wasn't that, go to the next person. Then the next person was like, oh, it'll be this, don't worry. And then she called and was like, nope, you gotta go. Yeah, so it was bad. It was 10 pounds. I've put on about 5 pounds.
Do you feel good? You look great.
I feel great.
I've never met you before.
I feel great, yeah.
You look like the right weight you should be.
No, I'm still about 10 pounds. Well, it's so interesting
Light or
you say
heavy?
that because we haven't met.
Oh.
Yeah. Most people, so anyone who knows me thinks I'm I literally had people people we have in common, I'm sure, were like, are you all right? Like, do you know
Yeah.
Adam
So you're still
Dinavizian?
light.
Did you know Adam?
Yeah.
Yeah, Adam walked up to me, this is about 3 months ago or 2 months ago and was like, do you have cancer? Like, yeah. So like I said, I put on about 5 pounds, and I think I have another 5 to 10 to be
Okay.
like back. But to your point, this is definitely the most healthy I have ever been.
People are constantly telling her how good she looks. You look amazing. They don't realize she has MS, and they think, oh, she just does yoga and has this insanely hot body and the whole.
Well, I mean, I haven't seen you in a long time,
What
but
that there
you,
is atrophy.
maybe you look bad in between when I saw you and today.
She's never
but you
looked
look
bad.
fine the last time I saw
She's
you,
never looked bad.
and you look fine today.
Yep.
Inflammation makes you look chubby sometimes. So sometimes I feel chubby, but whatever.
You don't look it though.
Not anymore.
No, never.
And the second memory I
You're 40
remember,
pounds lighter than you used to be
I'm
when you were
so
working.
much. I worked out all the time before, like, and
Yeah,
way different.
Solid, yeah.
But the second thing I was going to say is Dane Cook. I remember driving separately to the same place with you, and it was it was pouring rain here, and I remember
I
that.
do
That
remember
I just
that.
remember that night. It was like
To
a
a
late.
Dane show?
Yeah, well, I was
It
going to
was
meet
in-
with.
I mean,
Did
so-
one of you work with him at
He
the time?
represented him.
Yeah.
at
You're
the
kidding.
time.
Yeah, no, I did. But it's so
Like-
funny, like as you get
Can't wait to
older,
talk about that.
the way memory works.
Oh.
I had no memory of that whatsoever. And the minute you it was in Hermosa Beach.
You pulled the file,
It was
right?
the Comedy Magic Club.
Oh, you remember more? I thought I was racking my brain. I was like, maybe
I don't
Irvine.
know why. I guess no, that's right. You were always trying to sign him, and way early, like long before he blew up.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. I forgot all about. Yeah, you were in really early, and then he went with someone else.
Yeah,
and it was not a pleasurable not a pleasurable experience.
What's early for you guys? What year are we talking about here?
Well, he blew up. Everyone knew he blew up like 06.
Oh my God! I was watching him in '99 when Masada was.
I saw him in college
managing
around
him.
then. So, like, I knew of him.
Not
way
once. I
early.
saw him every week
know
at
you-
the Laugh Factory. Every fucking week. This is when I first moved out here, so I was just living over there, that kind of thing.
But within the business, it was clear it was coming in 05.
Gotcha.
And I think you were in there 03, 04. Maybe not 03, but you were definitely in
Definitely
there in
04, because I knew of him from, I'd seen him in college. And
You've
so,
always had the eye for the talent, though. You can pick out the talent.
well, so does Brian. But, so I knew to follow what he followed, because it was like the other day, like, I trusted his eye.
Yeah,
and I
you
trusted
both
her.
had the credibility.
And it's so funny because that's the whole, everything I do is based on that theory where people are always like, because I actually don't think I have the eye. I'm very open about that. Barry had signed Dane, not me.
Yeah.
Dane and I bonded because of Star Wars. And I mean, had one of us not been a Star Wars fan, I would have had a completely different career. That's all. I mean, we were best friends.
You were
then
tight.
I became
remember
his
that
manager.
part.
Yeah, like it. So yeah, but
So you're a Star Wars fan.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan.
Wow,
Yeah,
okay.
but that he like, so I met him like as a Star Wars guy, and we were like hanging out as bros. Then he blew up, and he was like, "You should manage me too," and I was like, "Okay," but yeah, but that. So I have a small group of agents and managers who I trust, and they're like, "This guy's blowing up. This girl's blowing up." I'm like, "All right, let's do a special," and it's almost never wrong. Yeah, it has
You've
like
done some pretty rad specials with Comedy Dynamics. I know that's probably where
kind
we're
to
going.
say.
Nice segue, Mrs. Ryan.
Great segue.
I'm getting there. Almost. I watch a lot of Netflix and specials more than I go to clubs like I used to.
Yeah.
And so many of the specials are like the random ones, not the big promoted ones, but like are through you guys because they're just the good ones. And I'm so impressed with you guys. What one we watched the other night?
Jim Brewer from 2009.
Jim Brewer.
Still, I can't remember what his 2009
Still
one was
standing? Is that?
Might have been. I can't
Okay.
remember. Yeah.
He's great. That was one of your guys. How long have you? It's your company, huh?
It is now. It was not.
It was not
when
originally,
I last
right?
saw you. Yeah.
Clear the Air. Clear the Air.
Was it Clear the Air?
It's called Clear the Air.
Okay.
Oh.
That was called something else. But I trust your memory over.
No, I could be wrong too.
Yeah, in a big way. Believe me.
Anyway,
So you're producing comedy specials nowadays,
Yes.
but you do
Yes.
television. You do all sorts of. I mean,
Yeah,
you're,
I mean, we
you're
kinda-
known as just a writer, producer, director guy.
Yeah, not so much. I do write, but not. I mean, I legally and truthfully could tell you I write, but I don't really write.
Gotcha.
But it's more producing and directing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of stuff?
We do a lot of comedy, and then we did the show Complete Fluke. I'm a huge toy collector. Probably.
Oh, I wanted to
wasn't
ask you about
out-
this.
Yeah.
This isn't the James May toy show, right? This is a different toy show.
What's the James May toy show?
He goes. Do you know who James May is from
No.
Top Gear? He's one
No.
of the three Top Gear guys,
Okay.
and he had a show. It's obviously not that show, so I
No,
guess
it's
this doesn't-
not.
I'm so
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
I don't want to
that's
tell you about
okay.
his show.
No, it's okay.
But he visited the toys of his youth, the Meccano and all the different, the little slot cars and all that stuff.
No, it's on a few levels. No, it's not that. It's called Toys That Made Us. It's a series on Netflix. Season 3 comes out in like
Season
a month.
3. Oh my God,
Season
all right.
3.
Gotta
But
get on it.
I was a toy collector, and huge toy. It was my really sort of only hobby.
Well, you mentioned Star Wars, so I'm thinking Hasbro
Yeah,
and
it
everything
started
else.
with that pretty much. And we were in business with Netflix because of the comedy specials. I met a guy and just randomly was able to, I've been trying to sell the show for 7 or 8 years. He bought the show came out, it did very well.
yeah.
And now we're doing I call it pop history. So we do these shows that are similar, so we do the show for CW called Discontinued. And that's all about discontinued products and places and things and
That's
whatever.
awesome.
Yeah, so it's this pop
It's
history
informative and
thing.
interesting.
Yeah, exactly. So to your point, we do a lot of comedy, we do a lot of stand-up, and now we're doing a lot of shows that are like pop history.
Awesome.
It's fun.
Sounds
yeah.
like it's right up my alley.
Yeah.
I mean, this is all the
Toys
kind of stuff
that made
I'm
us. Yeah, if you're into toys and pop culture, it's
Late
on
night-
Netflix.
into. Late
You'll like
night
it.
play set. I clearly grew up with stuff, and I'm still a kid. I'm still playing. So this sounds like everything I would like. Did I also hear that are you the showrunner for the new Mad About You? Can we talk about that?
Absolutely. positively not the showrunner.
Okay.
That's a guy named Peter Tolan.
Okay. I know Peter
yeah.
Tolan, of course.
Yes.
From Larry Sanders, of course.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm an
Incredibly
executive
talented.
producer on it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but the furthest thing from a showrunner.
Congratulations, Brian. That's a really big deal.
It's cool, yeah. It's
very
surreal.
cool.
Yeah.
Well,
very
speaking
surreal.
of everything coming back and cyclical and everything,
Yeah.
what is that? Did you watch the old Man
I
About
did,
You?
of course, yeah.
Wonderful show.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
loved it.
great show.
I wasn't married at the time, but some of these things are re-airing now on the streaming services, and then you catch them, and it's like, oh my gosh, I see why everybody loved that. All the kids are watching Friends right now.
Yeah.
And now our generation's catching Mad About You.
Yeah.
It's
Married,
huge.
living, yeah.
I mean, Friends.
How did that come
again.
to be then? Was that just a business thing that worked out, or,
Well,
or did you go after
I've
it?
known Paul Reiser. A lot of half of what we do is I know the agents and managers, and it comes from that. The other half is the talent. So I knew Paul, and I know to this day, very good friends with Paul Reiser. We had done the show called There's Johnny.
Whoa. I was going to ask you about that. What do you
Okay.
mean? You worked on that show? That's your show too?
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question specifically about that show? Just pause the interview.
Please. Possibly the first time anyone's ever asked me a question about that show.
Okay, well, I've seen
Yeah.
all 8 episodes because
God love you.
Clearly it's my
It was
wheelhouse. It was my wheelhouse.
Not to be
Downloaded every
cliched,
single
but-
one.
Wow.
You're familiar with the content from that show, obviously, I'm assuming.
I sold the show and I produced the show.
So the opening scene when
I've
the
seen
kid
it.
gets to the Johnny Carson Tonight Show and he can't get in, it's, we shoot it
Yeah.
at 5:30, blah,
Sure,
blah, blah.
sure.
And he gets let into the studio.
Yeah.
That story all happened to me with Letterman in 1996.
Really?
And I played the drums, I'm dancing around, I'm uncovering everything exactly like your thing. And your show
Really?
came out at the time when we had just decided to tell David Letterman about this story, because on that night, I was 18 years old. My dad had just died. There's a whole big thing. I don't want to eat up your time telling it, but I stole this microphone off of essentially this desk. It wasn't on the desk. It was blah, blah, blah. It was in the basement and a whole different thing. But I did. I took it that night.
That's pretty. I'll tell you this. I got on the set of Battlestar Galactica. I'm a huge fan of that too.
The 80s, the legit?
No.
Oh,
The
2005
one,
or
2003.
whatever.
Yeah. So I have in common with you that I got on a set and stole something, but where you beat me, like I took a little sign off a wall. Like I didn't even know what I took because I wouldn't look at it. You took the Can I curse?
Go ahead.
You took the fucking mic off. That is ballsy, my friend.
It gets so much worse.
Yeah.
It gets so much worse. You'll want to. Would you please send him the link after, because the story gets so much crazier from there to the point where now we want to have this conversation as an adult, and now the two guys can talk about it. I showed up at his house. I gave him another microphone. The whole big thing, whole crazy story.
Was he cool with that?
Very insanely cool. Too cool.
Did he know you were coming?
No, I think that he knew who I was, and I think he didn't call the cops on me. So it's one of those things. I'm looking forward to getting the other side of that story. I loved There's Johnny.
Okay.
And we have always been wanting to have Paul Reiser here to talk about that show,
Yeah.
but this is all I ever wanted to have. So
I'll ask Paul.
where did that
Thanks.
stuff come from? Paul wrote that show, or
Paul had been trying to sell that show for almost 20 years.
I
Really?
remember it floating around 10 years ago.
Yeah, and he's very close with this guy named Jeff Sotzing, who is
From Carson's nephew.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Johnny's
they're
nephew. He used to be a producer on the show too.
Oh.
He's on the final show. They did a behind the scenes thing, and he was in that.
yeah, and that's Johnny's sister's son. That's who he is.
And he runs the company now, right?
Yeah, he runs the whole company. Literally greatest job on the planet.
Just run the
yeah,
archive.
It's,
Run the archive.
It's a nice job. We'll leave it at that. Anyway, so he and Paul have been trying to get it going for years. We're very good at taking things that have what we perceive to have value that require a lot of work. So, like, we have all the relationships, we have a good reputation with the buyers, but there's certain projects that maybe companies ahead of us, bigger and better and older than us, are like, that's a lot of work. So we're for whatever
know
reason
exactly
not
what you
afraid of the work. So
Like a subcontractor almost.
what's that?
Like a subcontractor
I guess
almost.
what I would say is we go in and we'll deal with stuff that maybe other people would be like, it's
Talking
too
about
many.
like a fixer in the industry.
Sort of, yeah. It's just we're not intimidated by problems, I guess, if we
Good.
believe in something.
Yes.
So we took it out, We had 22 passes. I mean, everybody passed, to put it mildly. And then the greatest
Was
thing...
the material dated? Was that the idea? Because I thought it could
There
be a
was
great
only
period
one script.
show.
I mean, within reason, what you saw as the first episode is, I mean, it was probably 80% similar. So that's what it was. And then the greatest thing on earth came about. Do you remember the greatest company? I mean, I almost want to do like the cross thing, even though I'm not Christian. Do you remember CISO?
No.
Yes.
So CISO was
I
the
remember
great...
it sounds familiar, but I couldn't place it.
It was the greatest thing in the history of the entertainment business. The Comcast decided they were going to spend like $100 million. There were two issues, one of which I'll discuss, the other I won't. The issue I will discuss is they were ahead of their time. They decided they were going to do a comedy-only OTT.
Whoa.
And they spent $100 million
I do remember
in
this a little bit now.
probably about 19 months. They blew through $100 million.
Whoa.
And of that $100 million, we got, that's how we got There's Johnny straight to
Oh,
series.
wait. CISO is what it was going to be on before it went to Hulu.
That's right.
Yeah,
And
of
then-
course. We were following it left and right. We downloaded all the apps and everything because we were waiting for There's Johnny.
Yeah. So first thing that made it great was literally they bought everything I pitched them. I mean, literally they didn't pass on a single thing. That was the greatest thing ever. But the second greatest thing ever was a lot of the deals that we did. You know, they were like 4-year deals or 8-year deals. Well, what happens when a company goes out of business is whatever it would have been, it is no longer. So we had made like 30 specials for them that were like we wouldn't have had the rights back for like 3 years and 9 months, and like we got them back.
There you go.
And then the same thing happened with There's Johnny. Hulu took it.
Yeah.
And it ended up being on Hulu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so wild.
God bless. I almost bought a tombstone for them and buried CISO. They were so wonderful. They never said no. They literally never said no.
Well, that was really funny because I thought it was going to be one thing leading to the other, and it ended up being the opposite. Well, Matt, about
did
you,
get
you
very
got
dark.
through.
Episode 7 has very little in common with episode 1. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Might
true.
win a record for that, actually.
The show did take a different direction.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I came to set one day, and I just happened to be there to see where she's in the bathroom, and she'd just done all the coke and everything.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
The Booker girl.
because I didn't read every script, you know, I was like,
It-
what scene is this?
Do you remember the show Pan Am? That's what I thought as I was watching through. It was halfway through. It was a beautiful,
absolutely
fantastic
right.
thing, and then all of a sudden it was like
Yeah,
a spy
the
drama, a different thing.
The pilot was like a cartoon. And then, by the end of season 1, it was like what's going on?
It's fine, but what are we watching here? Make a choice.
I'm a new showrunner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's wild. Gosh, I want to pick your brain. I'm conscious about time and everything too. Well, what got you into comedy? How's that? Can we start
Barry
there?
Katz.
Seriously? Where are you from?
I'm from New York.
Okay.
All I was into...
From the city?
From Queens, yeah.
Okay. I'm from
That's the
Connecticut,
city.
just outside.
That's the city.
I agree.
Very
Especially-
sensitive,
especially
to, that
to a
point.
Wilton kid.
Yeah, exactly. You said it, so I didn't have to. No, I liked Bill Cosby, and that was kind of it. And little Eddie Murphy.
Shot in Queens, wasn't it?
Was that?
I think the Cosby Show was shot in Queens, wasn't it? Or Brooklyn.
I think it took. Actually, I don't know. I thought it took place in Queens. I thought. Anyway, I have no idea. That's my official answer.
Good answer.
But that was it. I met Barry. That was this guy named Barry Katz.
Yeah.
I was out of
This
money.
guy named
I was
Barry
literally out of money. So he was paying. I had been interning for some dude, and he wasn't paying. I knew Barry's assistant. There was like a communal copy machine, and all I knew is I needed money. And that's how it happened. I started working for Barry. I didn't know what a manager was. I literally had no. I didn't.
That's how I got into PR. I know we talked about that at some point, but like we were both just like clueless. Like we'll just do what we need
But
to
what
do.
were you doing? What did you go to school for? How?
Communication.
Oh, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And for people who's just listening to this, I did air quotes.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Where'd you go to school?
The University of Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah.
There was no judgment there. I didn't go to school. It was no.
By the way,
The University of
the
Iowa.
people who don't go to college, like I should not have gone to college.
Really?
Like that takes a lot of courage. You did go.
I did go.
Yeah.
I
It takes
should not have.
courage. It takes courage not to go to college.
Really?
Yeah.
I was doing what I wanted to do already. I was working
Well,
at
yeah.
30 Rock.
No, I knew what I
senior
wanted
year.
to do.
You know what I mean?
I just didn't have the courage to pursue it. I'm the only person in my family. Tell me if you've ever heard this before. Only have a bachelor's degree, going back 3 generations. They're all doctors. My mom was a scientist. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Only one, and that's why I think I went to college. Was I
Had
like?
to.
I was just like, I got to go at least get a bachelor's.
Qualifying your family.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but I should not have gone 4 years wasted of quite. I mean, I had fun 2 of the years.
But so and then you went back to New York and then you moved
Nope,
out here.
came straight here.
Straight here from
Straight
Iowa.
here, yeah. 3 days later.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Well, that's like you too. You got right on a plane the moment you were done. Every
Yeah.
summer for internships and everything. Wow, that's so wild. Well, so I and then you just—that's it. You just stayed in comedy, and then one thing led to another, and now you own a company and this whole bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's so impressive to me.
Oh, you're very kind.
Well, I grew up a fan of comedy, and then this thing that I did, took me away from. I locked it away in a room in my head, and said I'm not going to deal with that forever. And 20 years later, I decided to start dealing with it. And then it was like, well, wait a second, what the fuck are you doing? And then I got back into who the hell you were, who you really are, what do you really want to be? And that's where this all started. But our life had to implode first. Her health, our finance, I mean, like literally everything kind of imploded at the same time 5 years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
No, it's great now. You know what I mean? Look at us now, thank God. And it was one of those things that made me get there maybe and then have the confidence to follow it. So you went to college and got that confidence?
No, it's worse than that, in my opinion. I had that confidence before college.
And then you went to
instead of following
doing
that
it.
confidence.
Yeah, that was me. Okay.
I was like, let me go spend 4 years in Iowa.
Okay.
Because I guess I have to go to college.
Wow.
And, yeah. But no, everything I've done I planned on doing. So there was no reason to go. And it's not like I went to college and got a degree that could have
That
and would have
helped
been
you.
a fallback plan. No, not even that. Just assuming the worst. I didn't even get a degree that could have helped had show business not worked. I did a dumb thing that wouldn't have been good anywhere anyway and delayed it by 4 years.
But you describe yourself as falling up almost, and that's not what I see in front of me. It's like, oh, you found this thing, and it was a niche. And
No,
you
that
just
means I'm
stayed
not
there.
explaining this right. Well, but the point
Or
is...
right place, right time. Is that what you're saying?
No, not saying that either. Tremendous tolerance for failure.
Okay.
But yeah, but
Persistence?
that has nothing to do with the college thing. Yeah, that persistence. That's a nicer way of saying it. But yeah, no, everything I've done, I knew I wanted to do at 18. So there was no reason to spend 4 years in Iowa instead of going to L.A. Like I should have just come here at 18.
It's good and great. I love that you're kicking yourself over 4 lost years, and I'm like, 20.
Well,
What are you going to do?
It all matters where you end up.
Totally.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How about you? What do you got?
What are you doing? When did you leave management? I know we talked about my PR stuff, but
I think I left, I think it was about 6 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's in common with our Monday guest too. Priyanka,
Yeah.
you don't know Priyanka.
Priyanka.
Probably. Priyanka.
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
She's the same thing. She was an agent at like WME and everything
She
around the
was
same time.
Yeah,
and then
UTA
she left to go
and
be
William Morrison was like, I'm out.
she's writing directing now.
Yeah. Do you know Rodney Rothman?
No.
He's a producer as her husband, so they
Okay.
do stuff from time to time. But so where did you go from management then?
So what happened was,
Barry Katz is one of the biggest names in comedy management, at least in my mind. I don't know, maybe these days, but he certainly was.
Yeah, no, I mean,
So that probably was a good place to be, I'm guessing.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was a great place to
everybody
start,
else.
I feel like.
Yes. It was a great place to start. Yeah, well done. You should have been a publicist.
Should have been.
So what happened was, as a manager, as you know, you make 1 to 2 stand-up specials a year for your clients. And I got a call one day from an agent who, and this was about, I think, 2010. And he was like, would you do a special for a non-client? And I was very offended, and because I was a manager. I'm like, well, why would you want me to produce for your client? Why couldn't I manage for your client? I was like really angry. I'm kind of rude to the guy.
It's insulting. He was insulting to you first.
I found it insulting,
Yes.
what he proposed.
Yes, understandable.
Then the next day, in the morning, I think in the shower, I was like, my job is to make money as long as it's legal. Who gives a shit if it's a client? So I called the guy back, and I apologized, and it was actually Michael Ian Black. We made Michael Ian Black
No
special. And first of all, so 2 things about that. One is I'm sitting there on set, and all I had done at that point was produce for clients. So when you're sitting there with a client, and the client is like, I want this on the day of, you're like, well, that's $3,000 we don't need to spend, but he makes us like $10,000 a month, And you got to, but I remember it happened with Michael Ian Black, where Michael Ian Black was like, I want X. And I'm like, oh, we don't commission you. I could just say no and not care. Huh. And I just remember being like, I'm sorry, Michael, da-da-da. And he was like, okay, cool. And how great that felt. So that was the first thing. And then the second thing was...
That's significant, I think.
It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember it like it was an hour ago. Like, it was so...
That's a shift.
It's a plot point in your life.
You could say no without fear. Ooh, I didn't know that could happen. Then word got out that we were doing... And again, we were not the most respected management company, to put it nicely. I knew... If you had said to me at the time, how would you describe your management company? I would have said, well, we're not in the top tier, but we're right below it. Looking back, if there was a top tier, almost top tier, a medium tier, we were like at the bottom of the medium tier or the top of the tier, right below that section. We were not very... We had trouble signing Louis Anderson when the guy hadn't worked for 10 years.
Time to play the feud!
Yeah. Like, not after the feud, like, and we still had trouble getting him. Like, we had to do a crazy deal with him to get him as a client. And he was right. I mean, like, he should have been worried. So, we could do a great job once people became clients.
Yes.
But anyway, so when word got out that we were doing specials for non-clients, people were very excited about that because they liked me and they liked what we were doing. They just didn't want me to manage their clients. So... I mean, we between Michael Ian Black and I think Aziz Ansari was 7 months. Like that's how fast
that
it went.
many.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Well, no, normally that kind of evolution would take 2 to 5 years.
Yeah.
If not, never happen. So, and like I said, what happened was there were all these agents, and ultimately I found out managers. The agents loved me as a human, but didn't want to be managed by the company I was at. The managers all felt bad for me, and and also better than that, had no fee. I was still managing. Like I was still a manager. So like imagine how little respect Dave Becky had for me as a manager that he's letting Aziz and Kevin Hart be in our building.
God,
and when you
all
produce
the
with
same
people
time.
like this, you're getting social security numbers, cell phone numbers. So you have full access. And so he's like, no, have it all. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Try and sign them. I don't care. I mean, it was like that. And again, didn't realize this at the time. But again, another moment where I was like, huh.
Wow.
I went into our bathroom, our company bathroom, and literally, out of a movie, Gaffigan was washing his hands, Aziz was pissing, and Kevin Hart walked in as we were leaving.
So 3 comedians in a bathroom. Yeah.
And I'm like, well, our management roster has nobody on it. There's a lot of famous people all here.
What's
at the
going
same
on here?
time. Huh. And that was, so by the time I retired, our special biz, I mean, to this day we do 20 to 30 originals a year. Whoa. But back then we were doing about 10 to 15, and nobody was doing that. So we had this whole business that was functional when I retired. So I retired and then just went into the production thing the whole time. And we were selling shows. So
that's great.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so impressed with your trajectory.
Yeah.
it's interesting. Yeah.
Hearing that, me too.
As
Holy
a
smokes.
total candid person, I knew all that stuff about where your company fell in that. And
No, you definitely did.
I know.
Everybody did.
Everyone
Except
did.
me.
Yeah, I was going to say.
But I loved your person. I saw you through all of that. So I didn't care. But
No, that was the
That
common
sounds the
thread,
same, yeah.
And then when Barry left, that's when, and again, I was also in kind of denial about Barry. Barry didn't have the greatest reputation, and I never saw him do anything bad. I know he had done some stuff questionable before we met. So I had heard this my whole career about him, and I'm always like, he's a great guy. I've never seen him do anything fucked up or whatever. And then when he left, I mean, again, overnight, everything changed. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. It was really...
different energy.
Yeah.
I've worked for people that had similar reputations, and it's you have nothing to do with it. It was all prior to your presence, so it's I'm just here. What do you do?
Part of the mix.
So,
Yeah.
But I can see the energy would be really different.
And I see it with others now, too, where I'll be there'll be someone at a small company, and which doesn't have a great rep or something, and I'm always like, you ever thought about going to WME or 3 Arts? Like, I know they're hiring. And they're like, oh, no, I got it great here. And in my head, I'm like, no, you don't. No, you don't. But you got to figure that out on your own.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't want to hurt the other people's business.
There's a thing for being right sized, too. Some people, they seem like they have a ton of potential, but they're right where they should be.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Places
I've met
to
people
grow.
like that, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, some people, maybe they're, like you mentioned about not wanting to have to do the work. Some places don't want to have to do the work.
Yeah.
Some places you can be, and you don't have to really... You can just subsist.
True. Yes.
So
very
it
true.
kind of depends on what you're looking for. Comedy obviously is up your thing. What about talk shows? I heard that you read that you produced a talk show with or a show with Craig Ferguson.
Yeah, it was kind of a talk show. Yeah,
former talk show
called
host.
Joyner
Anyway.
Die for History Channel.
Yeah, and I remember watching. Was that the one? That's not with his wife. Was his wife on that at all?
No. What did he do with his wife? I didn't even know he did anything with his wife. When was that?
I think they have a whole YouTube channel now.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
All right, so it's not that.
I was not aware of that.
What was the Ferguson show then?
It's called Joyner Die, and it was a combination of talk show meets history. So it was,
Again, sounds interesting.
yeah,
to me.
history-based talk show. It
Sounds great.
if they had given it another, and listen, I've produced a lot of shows that did not get second seasons, that did not deserve second seasons. This one did. This one, we were, by the end, we had a 22 episode order, and I would say probably by episode 16, we had gotten rid of most of what didn't work, and we're starting to fix what was working. If we had had a second season, I'm sure it'd still be on the air.
It, yeah.
We came out the same year Samantha Bee show came out, and seeing because that show was horrible the first year too. A lot of these shows are bad the first year. It takes time. You know, when you start
Why
from
do you think
scratch.
we're starting this one in our house? Because we've never done this before. We got to get good at it before anybody sees it.
Yeah, but you know what's interesting? I would argue once this blows up, you should still do it here because
people are saying that.
what I've seen happen is, hey, we're huge.
We got all the money. Let's spend it.
It's not just about that, which also I don't think you should.
You know what I mean? The big
But
fancy
the
set
energy
and all that
changes.
shit. Yes.
Like this is a great energy. Like maybe buy a huge house down the street.
Yeah, but still
leave
do
this
it.
here. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's my. You didn't ask for my opinion.
No, I like
but
it.
I've given it to you.
I will take it. We both like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort
I
of
knew
where
your
our gut
brains
is with
would
it too.
connect.
Yeah.
So
I want to get you out of here because I know that you've got
you're
some
very
stuff
kind.
to do. Some
Thank
stuff to
you.
do. I
Horrible
can't thank you
scheduling.
for being here
And I was
enough.
much earlier, by the way, just so you know. I feel
What?
bad. I got here early because I knew we'd have shit to catch up on and everything.
Oh.
And then I couldn't figure out the buzzer. Is that bad to say?
No.
Oh, edit that out if you don't want to. Okay. But even after I got the number, it then took
good
probably about
point. Yeah, I
another
see your
4 or
point.
5 minutes to finally get you. Yeah. So I feel bad, but I was here early. Yeah.
Well, all right.
I adore you. This is the beginning of the next chapter, like I said. I'm
That's what I was
so
gonna say.
excited to see you.
I hope that you come back at some point and let us know what
I'd
you're
love
doing.
to,
And
yeah.
I hope that at some point, if there's ever anything we can do to help you, you're in the world that we're trying to break into. So if there's ever anything we can do to help you,
Here's
or
the
you
good
ever want
news.
somebody on our show,
Here's the good news. Very easy to get into.
okay,
Just be relentless. Yeah. That's it.
we're working on that.
Yeah.
We're working on that. Thanks so much for being
Thank
here, man.
you.
Are you on social
This
media?
was I am.
Can we do that? And we'll get you plugs and hang on. This is a segment we call Billboard.
Oh, ridiculous.
We'll do an Instagram story. Are you on the social media?
Yes.
What's your social? Wherever you want to
BRIAN VOLK-WEISS Instagram.
Awesome.
Something like that.
Easy for that.
That's my name.
And then anything else coming up or whatever, you've got this camera here if you have anything to plug.
Oh. Toys That Made Us. Seasons 1 and 2 on Blu-ray. Comes out October 1st. Season 3 on Netflix. November 15th.
Sweet. I'm looking forward
I'm
to that.
stoked for you in that. That's
If you
a
haven't
really
seen it,
neat
I think you'll
project.
dig it. I mean, it's
Give me. Can you give examples of what some of the toys might be?
it's Star Wars, He-Man, G.I. Joe, Barbie, Hello
so
Kitty.
it's more the whole genre. It's not like Etch-a-Sketch, 8-Ball.
No.
Okay,
No,
that's
no,
very
no.
cool.
No, and
That's
it's
very
fun.
cool.
It's like it's a really funny show.
I love it.
So
Does it have a host or is it kind
nope,
of just
no host,
Okay.
just a narrator,
Okay.
and it's fun. Like, and again, pick your favorite toy, watch that episode.
It sounds like wholesome family program.
It
Like
is,
You could watch
yeah.
it with everybody.
It
and
is.
That to me
It
is
is.
what it's all
Yeah.
about these days. Awesome. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Really
Thank
looking
you.
forward to the
All
next
right.
one. We have more time.
I would
Get out
love
of here.
that.
Get out of
Yeah.
here. Go, do your
Apologies.
thing. Go.
Apologies for the rush.
We'll wrap it up without you.
All right.
You're awesome, man.
so good to see you.
Same. Talk soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that was awesome. Brian Volk-Weiss. Ah, Mrs. Ryan.
Love that guy.
No shit. He literally is out of here. Love it. Gone. He had a call and a meeting to do right after this. And I feel lucky that we got him at all.
Me too.
I love him. I love him. I got
Good.
a little, I wanted to keep it on track as much as possible, so I didn't really even get to do my usual extrapolation. But I can't wait for him to be back here. Mrs. Ryan, what's out? That's it. Today's Thursday.
Today's Thursday.
This is it. This is the end of the week. All right. In that case, tomorrow is Breakfast Club. Let's see. We billboarded him. Social media did all that. Tomorrow's Breakfast Club up at Newcomb's Ranch. You guys know where we are and when we'll be there. Saturday, we're hearing rain here in Los Angeles.
Oh,
if
yeah?
not rain, there are a few things going on. There's Morning Octane open out there somewhere. I think it's up in Santa Anita. But I think, if anything, energetically wise, I believe if it's weather's okay, we'll probably do Malibu and muffins because you haven't had that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that'll be
You
nice.
fell down the stairs last time, so. What's your new short hair and the new short cane and everything else? We got a new cane for Mrs. Ryan. It's a different
It's
height,
so much better, and I saw a picture with I had it way too long, but without the weighted bottom, it really helps me.
Yeah, I saw that too. It looked like a stilt, you were a tripod
Awful.
leaning against it.
Awful. I took some really bad pictures last week.
With that, Mrs. Ryan, I think that's just about everything. This was a short one today. We love everybody out there. Please love one another. I'm trying to think if there's anything else announcements-wise. Was there anything else that you had? Oh, and then Sunday is Cars and Coffee Los Angeles. We highly support those guys.
Oh, that's
We'll
the
be
one
there.
up here.
By the fountain in Mulholland Park.
I like that one.
Yeah, good guys. That's it. I love you, Mrs. Ryan. We love
Love you too.
everybody at home. Please love one another and have a great weekend. Dave Watch is going. Dave Letterman might be here next week. We have no idea what's going on. Have a great weekend. Take care.